I'm also the founder of an upcoming project that I'm trying to start up called Women on the Rise. But I will explain that near the end because I think it will make more sense when I kind of tell you how I got into the poetry thing and being an author. So basically with the poetry thing, I've been writing poetry for about over 10 years or so. And in that time I had a lot of people saying to me, oh, you should write books, you should write books. But sometimes when people say things to you, until you kind of can grab hold of it for yourself or believe it, you don't really move on it. But one day I decided to look into self-publishing, which is, you see a lot of these platforms coming up now where you can actually publish books through online services like Amazon. There's another one called Barnes and Nobles, all these online publishers, and you can actually submit your pieces to them and they will do all of the work for you in terms of getting it present online and so on. So that's how I started publishing my own books. So what I did at the top of the year, one of my achievements was to publish 2 books, and they were 2 poetry books. Oh, nice. Okay. So the first one, the purple one that I released called Love Needs No Occasion, and the concept behind that was just basically I've been going to just a lot of funerals in the last couple of years and was always just struck by how people were always using that as a platform to express how much they admired certain people. And I always wondered if the people knew how much they were loved while they were here. And so I just took the opportunity that I was going to release something to encourage us that while people are still here with us, to just be able to just say, you know what, I appreciate you. And it doesn't have to be about them being a birthday and all that kind of stuff. It's just saying, you know what, I love you, this is how I feel about you, this is how important you are. So the first one, the purple one, Love Needs No Occasion, was just a collection of stuff that I'd written for people that were in my life. And the second one, Love Needs No Occasion to Divinity in Me, was about my relationship with God. And I kind of wanted to put that out there just to kind of let people see, you know what, this is what faith with God can be like for me, just the ups and downs and all that kind of stuff, and kind of just wanted people to just be like, you know what, you can relate to God in a loving relationship. It doesn't have to be like maybe how some people will view it from certain traditional views. So those were the 2 books. Now I've been asked to talk about challenges and highlights. So in terms of challenges, there's only one particular thing that pops up in my head that I kind of wanted to share, and it was just that when it came to releasing the books, everybody was like really, really excited and really happy, and I got like all these people saying, oh, well done, and all this kind of stuff. But I found that the challenge was actually getting people to help me and assist me to get the book more visible, particularly online. And that was kind of difficult to deal with, because sometimes you can be saying, you know, well done and all this kind of stuff, but I would just want to say that sometimes, particularly for us as people, if we're saying that we're seeing like a friend or relatives that's trying to do something and we keep saying well done, then let's support. Let's support properly. It's not just about giving them the lip service, you know, whatever the little thing is that they're asking you to do, and it doesn't have to be money, but whatever it is, let's try and support each other so that we can actually begin to build and get somewhere with just the different gifts and talents that we have. Regarding the highlights though, now at the beginning of the slide you saw broadcaster. Let me just clear that up. What that actually is in reference to is that through publishing the books, I was able to have the opportunity to do some spoken word on Premier Gospel Radio. So I did that probably about a few months ago actually, and they had some of my things running for about 2 weeks or so, which was a really thrilling opportunity because I've never been on the radio before, so that was really nice. But the best part about it actually was through getting that connection with Premier Christian Radio, I was actually able to bring along a music artist who I know who was trying to raise their profile and also give them the opportunity to do the exact same thing, and that also gave them exposure. So that's the part that I actually like about that whole broadcasting thing, was being able to bring someone else along with me and actually push them through the door as well. So to bring you into what Women on the Rise is all about, Women on the Rise basically just come out of a poem that I wrote, and the poem was just actually in relation to just the fact I do a lot of mentoring with young women in my spare time. And in terms of the whole thing about women on the rise, I just keep coming across a consistent theme that there'll be women around them in their lives, but they didn't feel that they could go to them and share things in terms of helping them to mature properly and to be nurtured. So my heart with Women on the Rise at some point is to try and bring that back again, where particularly for us as women, that we would actually really start to look towards females that are in our atmosphere, in our environments, and begin to grab them and raise them up and show them their worth, show them how important they actually are, rather than just some of the imagery that we are seeing from our young women at the moment. So, yeah, that's what Women on the Rise is about. I have been asked to do a short poem, so I'm just gonna read it to you, and it's something that I came up with this week called Pages of History. And just to give the background to it, it's actually not so much to do with black history, but it's just regarding some observations that I'd seen over the last year and a half, just regarding us as people. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it to you. You don't know your history. That's what some would say of me. You don't understand your Caribbean legacy. Okay, I'm guilty. Maybe not. But I admit, I'm happy to be an anomaly. And I don't like being packaged according to our in-house pride. And I prefer to go and play outside because I'm striving to be a person who refuses to live out of pages of historical brokenness. My soul has been fused with eternity, and I'd like to live to display my boundless versatility. I'd rather know about my God-given destiny. Perhaps I'm not as well versed as some about the pages of history. Guilty again. However, I'm intelligent enough to see the addiction to our segregation mentality. It's tainted how we handle each other relationally. There's tribal separation and cross-island scandal. Hold on. Did we not think that God loves us equally? Perhaps we've forgotten. Case in point, a king once had a dream that all people would live in unity. So where are today's in-house dreamers who will radically reject the way we discriminate against ourselves? Because unfortunately, we have allowed tradition to act as the shackles around our feet that we keep telling the outside world that we don't want to wear. The mold, it must be broken. We've got to get bold to say that enough is enough, because this internal segregation, it's getting very old and tired. So tell me, what's wrong with us eating the jollof with the saltfish and ackee? All right, that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but seriously, what's with the infighting and mishandling as if we haven't come from the same tree? It's petty to me, and it's bondage to our kids whose choices we restrict, and as much as we call for it, perhaps we do fear true freedom and liberality. So let's be courageous and join the queue for responsibility, to inspire integrity and trust within our own people as it should be. And like me, you may not know much about your background. Perhaps not. But let's be wise enough to know that our lives, our legacy, our pages, they do affect all of our history. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much. Got a lot from that, actually.